All right, welcome to Unlimited Power. My name is D-Rod, and I'm joined by Team Babu Freaks member Julian. Julian, you've been on the cast for a while, but welcome here as we are in the final round, the top eight here at the Portland, Oregon Planetary Qualifier at Red Castle Games. How are you doing, man?
Hey, yeah, doing well. Excited to tune in for the quarterfinals here.
Yes, and we have a matchup here. What can you tell us? So I need to adjust this. The players are sitting in the different spots. So I'm going to make that change real quick. But we have Ben from Babu Freaks, one of your team members, and as well as Zach here as well. And the judge just handed us those deck lists in case you want to take a look there.
Cool.
But let me go ahead and get the board set up, changed over. And why don't you tell us a little bit about Ben and his experience in playing? One of the members we haven't had on the team in or in an interview session yet.
Yeah, Ben's a buddy of mine, a teammate on the Babu Freaks. Great player. Excited to see him play. Yeah.
Great. And Zach is part of the Ruthless Raiders, just from up north in Tacoma, Washington. You've played against him a few times, correct?
Yeah. Zach's an excellent player too. I've played him in a top 8 before. Great guy.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We've interviewed Zach before. We've seen him do some great things, so I think it's going to be a fun time here. We're just going to head and, like I said, we're going to update this so that way the player information is on the right side. But I'm excited. It's definitely a long day. Julian, were you prepared for this long day? You've been here since 9 a.m. and it is 7:10 p.m. here in the Northwest.
Oh man, yeah, starting to crash a little bit. It's definitely a long day, but got to play a lot of Star Wars. That was fun.
Yes, and you're part of this team where you guys are prepping for stuff like this. So, you definitely have to put in a lot of long hours in preparation, because it's not about like making the right choices early on. A lot of times it's also, can you make the right choices 7 to 8, 10 hours in, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. Yeah, I played a lot of Secrets of Power Limited. Excited to see the set off. This was probably the last big tournament last time playing it, but yeah, definitely had a good time with it over the past couple months.
Oh, well, here we go. So we're already getting started off here. We're going into, looks like we're going to go into turn 2. Ben readies his 3 resources. Zach has the initiative here. So, So in this pairing, who do you lean towards more? These are both really strong leaders, and you're watching the draft a bit. They had to definitely find the right cards. Going into it, when you see this leader matchup, what are your thoughts?
Well, Leia's very strong. Definitely has the reputation of being the best leader in the set. Dedra's very good as well. A little less familiar with the pairing with Blue actually, but I know in Premiere it's kind of a control deck.
Yeah, it definitely is, and depending on what Ben drafted, he may have quite a control matchup. It's the nice part of doing some of these matches here. And look at that, we're getting the weird glare here at this time. So luckily, I can pick up a little bit of that. So looks like it is 1 to 3. As we get, I'll adjust this before we get into the next round. I think this is usually the issue of players using different mats, is the mats are centered for a certain reason. But that's all right. That's all right. As long as we can cover what's happening, I think we're pretty good. Wow, Senator Chuchi, Zam Wessel, Nuke Gunray. It's a who's who of episode 1 unique characters. Zach is off to a good start. What do you think here? 2 strong blue black leaders or units.
Yeah, Nuke can be very powerful. Get some great action going. Ben's lead in space seems pretty good too, with the airing with +1. And Chuchi can be very strong as well. He's got to get another official down.
Yeah, I think Chuchi is one of my favorite cards out of this set in a lot of constructed formats. Can use some work, but a lot of units can. But I mean, just there's a lot of value when it hits the board.
Oh, and it's Dedra time.
There she goes. She is deployed here. Nothing to use that base on. All right, and so Zach needs to put putting pressure here is really good. We're going to see Ben's going to go ahead and swing, use that restore bonus, deal some damage to Zach's base, taking him up to 5, while Ben is sitting at that nice 0. That's always a good feeling. So you were watching this match, Julian. Did you have any or the draft, any insights or anything that you saw from these players as they were going through this card pool?
Yeah, I was walking around watching the draft. Looked like Ben had a pretty on the rails Leia yellow draft, which looks good. And I saw a little bit of Zach's draft, not as much.
Yeah, definitely interesting stuff across the board. There we go. That's the problem. So here we go. With Daedra already deployed, Zach has to make some decisions. And he goes with the
Ooh.
Creditor's Claim. We haven't seen this played all day, and I love that it's played on a Trade Federation unit. Is this a card? What are your opinions on this upgrade? I really like it. I like the art. I like it's on theme and the abilities. But as someone who's been playing more competitively, looking at and analyzing a lot of these cards, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was kind of one I was on the fence about a bit. I didn't play a bunch of blue black this set, but I actually had the card in my Jabba draft deck this last week when I was playing with some friends, and it was very good. Yeah, I think the card can be powerful, and it actually especially can be good against Leia if Leia like upgrades their 2-cost units.
All right, looks like Ben is doing a little bit of displaying there so you can get some tokens going. And after playing, what is that event?
Oh, bogged down in procedure, some taps.
There we go. Yep. So really great. Deals with a few of those units. And Ben still sitting at a nice only 1 damage there on his board and about to put some more there on Zach. Another counter on that A-Wing. Now, Julian, you're such an aggressive player. How excited are you to see an A-Wing in the Space Arena just getting those tokens left and right?
Yeah, exactly. A-Wing is such an important part of like the early aggressions that I feel like I definitely could have used one in my Sly deck today, and it's very good in openings for both Sly and Leia Yellow, I would say. Leia Yellow especially, because you can start getting it pretty huge.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think A-Wing was a great addition to the set, and here's a great example. It's just an early cost unit, and with Leia, you can take advantage of that 1 resource cost and immediately put some tokens on it. And there's not much in space with the ambush mechanic.
No, yeah, not a ton in the set.
I think at best you'd have to worry about maybe a diplomatic envoy setting something up here. All right, Ben is in a good spot, and he is currently at 1 health, still 5 resources left, and now he has Zach at 13 damage. Now, Ben is also a very aggressive player. I've only seen him play aggressive decks, not to say he doesn't play anything else. How do you think that's going to play into him in draft? Does he normally go that direction, or does he kind of lean towards more of the card pool that he's given?
Yeah, I would say Ben is a super versatile player. He definitely can play aggression, but he definitely plays the late game control decks too.
There we go. Some emergency powers is always cool to see.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a powerful one. Ooh.
It's a lot of capture.
Capture.
Yeah, capture. Those counters don't mean anything at this point. So there we go.
Quite the back and forth there.
Couple of comments of people cheering on Zach. Zach is again, both great local or players from the Pacific Northwest. These two have crossed paths plenty of times, and their teams really do spend a lot of time improving their game and work and learning these sets. So it's great to see 2 experienced players at this level, and I feel like I'm going to learn a lot just watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
Woo! Oh man,
that one keeps getting bigger.
And you know what? That cornet is going to come out next turn, and that is a bad boy. Restore and giving restore to all your units in play.
Quite the powerhouse.
Wow, that is just going to add some more to it. Ben is in a good position not to playing the leader yet. Zach has to find something in space to deal with this 4/5 space unit. And now he sees that cornet, so of course Ben's just probably going to lay that out and just continue to just go undefended. Now, if you're Zach here, he's playing very aggressively. Outside of waiting for, hoping to draw the right card, do you just continue to put that pressure? Or do you feel like you need to make sure you're keeping the ground arena clear as you continue?
Yeah, I think as Zach here, you definitely want to keep control of the ground. He's, kept in charge of it for most of this game, and being able to stick out through the Leia flip would be huge.
Yeah, if he can kill the why did I forget their name? It's not a crate veteran.
Which one?
This white unit here.
Oh yeah, blanking on it too.
What a long day! What a long day! But we know it is a symbol unit. As we both go to our card databases here. Let's see here. But, it is holding that Zam Wessel. Now, Zam Wessel lost those experience counters, so rescuing her isn't going to put a huge threat on the board, but it is going to do something. It is another body, and if you can upgrade Zam Wessel, she will have great grit.
Yeah, totally.
All right, the covert operative,
There it is.
2/4. So, and with that, we missed a little bit of damage. It's still 10-13. Zach is catching up with that dangerous nuke gun ray. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But Ben still has 6 resources left. He has his Leia flip. We know he has the cornet, so he can use Leia's ability and deploy Leia, attack with Leia, and put another counter over there. And with restore, he still has restore. That's dangerous.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a strong turn from Ben. Excited to see what Zach's got here.
There we go. We see the coronet. Now, did you run into any players who were playing heavy restore against you or had similar moments to Ben here today?
Yeah, played against some restore today for sure. Played I think 3 Leias in Swiss today. Definitely a couple of them got the restore train going. One of them in the final round I played against a Coronet.
Is there any moment in those matches where like any decisions you feel like you have to make once restore is on the table? Yeah?
Absolutely. Totally changes the math of the race. So you can no longer be as aggressive. You got to take out some of those problem units, be it Coronet space or Chuchi on the ground.
Is there any time where players should just ignore a restore unit?
Certainly, if you're far enough ahead on damage, if you're really closing in, you can kind of ignore it. But still in this, they're still around like the 10 life range. Gotta fight it.
All right, what a great bomb! The Republic the Republic Walker there, a 7/6 with Saboteur. I think it's super strong. You just kind of wonder if it's going to be enough to get that push at this point.
Yeah, big powerful unit. Definitely gonna help Zach contest the ground arena here.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites in this set, and I believe I think it's an uncommon too. So I think it's a good one. Not one we saw a lot today from some of the red players, but it's up there when you start thinking about those big heavy bombs in this format. Shadow Crawler, the Walker here. Again, like those two immediately come to my mind.
Yeah, I registered one of the 6-mana 7/6 overwhelms in my deck today. That was solid.
There we go. Leia deployed. Still has that A-wing out. I think we're gonna. I just don't know why you wouldn't play the Cornet at this point, especially when Zach is exhausted all of his resources.
Yep, sure we'll see the Coronet.
There we go. Daedra's going to swing into the Crate Veteran.
Have more cards.
Doesn't look like
still,
it.
Yeah, and that's been the one interesting thing about this game. They've been at card parity the entire time, so Zach hasn't been able to benefit off the raid 2 that Daedra can get sometimes.
Yep. Well, reveals the Cornet again, swings into Daedra, removes her off the field, and Leia just continues to pump this A-Wing. Thematic for sure. No one can take a simple Rebel or Republic starfighter and have it go the distance like Leia can.
Absolutely.
Right. I think, at this point, Zach's probably just going to have to stick with the initiative, and Ben is just going to be free to deal some damage here, and there it goes. Yep, Ben gets to attack. He gets to restore, and gets Zach all the way up to 22. There we go. Ben remembering his restore count takes him to 8. 8:22. This is rough. I think we're going to see a game 2.
Yep, could
real
be a
soon.
Game 2 coming soon here.
What are you hoping to see if you were Zach right now in a red-blue pool?
Yeah, interesting. I know a little niche, but the hyperspace disaster could totally clear out the space. That is rare.
Very niche, but it would be really good to have right now, that's for sure. Definitely a card I saw played a bit, or pulled in some of the pools, and it looks like, there we go, we use... What did I miss here?
Well, the Creditor's Claim.
He swung with Newt to be defeated. There we go. It looks like they're cleaning up the board after those actions. Okay, yep, he was deciding. I guess Zach wants to capture the Zam Wessel, so he's doing the Creditor Claim ability on the ground arena. Again, as we talked about earlier, keeping that ground arena clear.
Yeah. Even through the Leia flip, it seems like he's had control of the ground full time.
Yeah, 22-8, but can Zach find a way to remove this threatening A-Wing out there?
It's going to be a tough one for sure.
Well, and it's a 6/7.
Yeah, and even if the A-Wing went down this turn, the Coronet is still representing lethal over 2 turns.
It is, yep, and there it is. We get to 27, a little bit more healing there for Ben. 27-7. Zach, do you have an answer right now? There we go. Got there. I can find a 7, no problem. All right, I think Zach is considering his options. Again, this is a long day. These players have had to go through 6 rounds. They've had to do almost an hour of deck building. They had to draft. There's just so much they've had to do, so much critical thinking. Every decision here is so important. So it's, I really applaud these players and their ability to make some really good decisions after this long a play.
Oh yeah, certainly. It's always great seeing what people will come up with, this late in the day.
All right. Well, Ben's going to take game 1 here, and we're going to go to game 2 as the players look at their sideboard. It does feel a little bit better when you're looking at your sideboard after a draft than a sealed pool because you kind of know what other answers you have.
Yep.
Rather than sometimes in a sealed pool, it can just be like, "Yep, everything else just doesn't work. No reason to even look at it." Now you had a great run today. What was your record and your placing today?
Yeah, rounded out 4-2 around 11th place, I think. So.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Love. We prized out to the top 16 players. Was your name one of the raffle winners? I know there was 24 raffle winners today.
Yeah, I think I got a mat. That was cool that they did that.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. I'm a fan of mats. I'm some people can say you can have too many mats, but if there's Star Wars on it, I disagree.
Never enough.
Never enough. And these are 2 great ones here. Obviously, we just have the sector qualifier and then the regional qualifier. So again, both of these players are great players who have gone the distance in a lot of other events. Both of them could use the points here. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Here, both players get ready here for the second game. Now, with being part of the Babu Freaks, you guys already have a couple players who have won some PQs. How many members of your team have their guaranteed spot for Galactics at this point?
Yeah, this year I believe.
Okay, just again, we mentioned this earlier. A lot of times when getting to the top 8, a lot of people are gone. The store is pretty much closed to shoppers, so we got to keep it down just a little bit more here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, what other who else has made it so far?
Yeah. So currently this season, Rob, Drew, and I all have invites. So definitely rooting for everyone else to get there.
That's great. Yeah, and again, it's what I like about this game, Stars Unlimited, has definitely focused on creating a good competitive environment for people who want to be competitive and teammates. As we talked about, like formats like this, like limited, this is where having teammates is really helpful. Getting in that practice, sitting down with cards, talking about the best ones. You guys have done, I'm sure, a lot of limited practice. Was that something you guys started before last Galactics, or is that something you started after Galactics when they announced adding more limited play into their competitive format and their qualifiers?
Yeah, I'd played a little bit of, certainly a little bit of limited before it was announced as a more competitive format. But yeah, we didn't start testing for it more as a team until after we knew it was going to be a PQ format, starting set 5 and now set 6.
Yeah. Well, and you don't have to share any secrets, but I mean, in general, how often have you guys do you test limited in a month?
Yeah, we try to fit in like say like a draft like every other week at least.
Yeah.
Then we'll go a couple weeks in a row.
Well, I'm sure it keeps you guys sharp. And again, like it really matters in moments like this where there's some cards that don't see a lot of constructed play, but you've seen them enough in limited, or you've played them enough in limited to know how effective they are in this format.
Yeah.
All right, Zach starting us off with the initiative. He plays the Star Hopper, and then Ben plays a Sky Hopper. But again, it's a smart move. Another 1-drop space unit. This is not what you want to see. Not a space unit. It's actually a ground unit that flies. It's an airship. So Ben already lane dodging here.
Yeah, starting out with the 2/5 is very powerful. The Gungi stat line on board.
Let's see what Zach's going to follow up the Starhopper with. Is he going to go for the ground arena, or is he going to stay aggressive in the space?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe he'll be able to sneak a Dedra activation in here somewhere to pull ahead on cards.
It's 2 damage there. First blood.
Great veteran. Ooh. Yeah, you gotta like that, you know. Clean 1-for-1 removal, 3 resources for 3 resources, but then being able to stick the 2 damage on the Canyon Hopper too.
Love it.
Yeah, super strong card. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, totally. In fact, it was out of control, and did a top 8 draft at the start of set 6. I was playing Leia Red, and I actually ended up with 4 Let's Call It Ors in my deck. It was it was kind of insane. That was drafted. Yep. Yeah. Got messed up the name too. Yeah, Skyhopper Canyon Runner. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think the cards are still at parity because he did get an activation, but the damage was soaked up by the Skyhopper, so could still be even on cards.
You know what I just realized? I was muted the whole time. Well, not the whole time. I was muted for a little bit of time.
Oh.
Well, I am back. So you may have just heard Julian just talking. But yeah, here we are. We have that Skyhopper out. Daedra is now deployed. The Starhopper from Zach is swinging. It is a 4-5 match. It is, you know, both players are putting some pressure on here. We haven't seen the balance go either or, but this is definitely the turn where Zach's going to put some damage on the base.
Yep.
All right, and Zach still has some resources here to mess around with. So let's see what he casts.
Aggressive negotiations.
Aggressive negotiations, pretty solid. Gets rid of a card in hand, gets 9 damage on that opponent on Ben's base, and Ben goes for the Chuchi.
No officials yet for Ben besides the Chuchi, but definitely setting up something powerful here in a possible restore chain.
Yeah, if you're Ben, do you start using Leia's ability on Chuchi because of the restore and then because she's full health, or do you keep piling on to the Hopper?
Yeah, it depends. Looks like Hopper only has 2 health left, and Dedra's attacking for 2, so he might be able to take it out of range of a Dedra attack.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I mean, and Dedra's not going to swing into it at that point if it's going to hit her back for 4.
Yep.
All right, Zach with the initiative, going to exhaust 3 resources. What are we going to see? Maybe in Let's Call It War? Did he have 2 of them in his draft pool?
Pretty sweet.
It is
more negotiating.
There we go.
Zach is quite the diplomat.
All right, there we go. 14-5. Wow, really solid. The aggressive negotiation is definitely a card that a lot of players I'm sure were passing if they weren't going to stick with a lot of red or go with the red leader. And it's quite an investment right now. You just used 3 resources. You have 2 left. Oh, there goes that Starhopper captured again. And the Outer Rim Constable removes one of the upgrades from the Skyhopper, so it only has 1 health remaining.
Skyhopper's hanging on for dear life.
At this point, I think Ben is still in a good spot. He can put 4 more damage on Zach's base and heal 1. So definitely a strong fight. Not sure if he wants to. I guess he could swing into the Constable, but he'd risk losing a unit at this point.
Yep.
I believe it is Zach's action at this point. Yes, because we just saw the
Should be out of resources.
Yeah, the Constable I think got played. I think we went Crate Veteran into Constable. Sorry, not Crate Veteran.
Yeah. Operative.
Yes, Covert Operative. There we go. There it is. Ben's going to use that ability. Who's he going to give it to? It has to. I guess it's going to be Chuchi. It has to be one out of aspect, right?
Yeah, in that case, maybe you do want to take out the Constable.
Yeah, that 3-1 is a hard hitting, and Zach probably already feels like it did its job.
Oh, trades with the Skyhopper. Keeping Chuchi at full health then.
Yep, and then Ben gets that nice restore, so it's going to take him back down to 13 and puts a little bit of damage on Daedra. There. All right, now we're going into turn 5. This is it for Ben. This is his deployment turn. This can be a big swing right now. This is probably what he wants to see and make a lot more moves. So let's see what we have here. And Leia is an official, so if he can swing with Leia, she's also going to have restore.
Yeah, it could be a lot of restoring this turn. Like Ben has made it through some of the bridge turns and coming into his flip turn. It's always a weird dynamic with Daedra versus Leia because there's like 2 turns in between the leader flips. So definitely means you got to do some stabilizing.
Wow, a Dogmatic Shock Squad is going to have the Sentinel there. It's a 4/4 for 6. Not the strongest 6-drop Sentinel, but it's solid
Pretty
for
good.
right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Seems like very good for what Zach's trying to do right now.
There you can see Ben's making, the heroic ARC allows him to do damage to a damaged unit. Doesn't matter if it's a leader or not. That's a nice play. Really messes with the momentum there. And I'm sure Zach may be kicking himself that he should have just swung to either remove Chuchi or just get a little bit more damage on Ben's base.
Yeah, hard decision there because you feel pretty safe behind a Sentinel usually.
But here we go. Showing the Lone Shark. Going to put a counter on any of these units. Plenty to choose from. He can either make him give Chuchi attack of 4, or looks like that's what they're going for. Yep. So strengthening Chuchi, I don't hate it. I love giving that restore unit a little bit more health, especially when you know she can turn Leia into a restore unit as well on this flip turn.
Yep.
Appreciate the players using these tokens just to communicate what's happened. Since Daedra is out, and there she comes. Princess Leia has arrived to the table. Chuchi's going to go ahead and swing, get that restore mechanic. Has to swing into the Dogmatic Shock Squad.
Chuchi's surviving here. Yeah, 1 health left.
It looks like Leia's going to go ahead and finish it off, showing the yellow card so it can put an experience counter. There we go. Then remembers to heal there, heal 2. And gets Zach up to 8. Now we're at this closer game here, which is really, really great. We're going to see if Zach can pull it out here. He's going to have to definitely reset up the board. But Ben is building something really large in that ground arena. And that heroic ARC is not a card you want to ignore with that 4 attack.
Oh no, definitely rough losing ground and space here on Ben's flip turn, but we'll see Zach can get back into it.
If Zach has a let's call it war right now, that'd be really
Oh
great.
yeah, let's call it war would be huge.
Well, he still has the initiative. Let's see what Zach has. Okay, Death
Oh yeah,
Trooper. Yeah,
Death Trooper solid.
solid choice there. Gets rid of Chuchi, kicks that restore offline. And you still have 3 more resources to use.
Yep.
Chuchi definitely came in and did work. One of those great cards I was a fan of when they spoiled it. Easily went into a couple of Twin Suns decks for me because I just like the theme here.
Yeah.
But definitely one I'm always considering when I'm looking at any heroic blue builds going into the next format, going past rotation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what decks might have a high density of officials and get some real use out of Chuchi with.
Here we go. We just saw Knowledge and Defense played. Great card, especially in limited. Just an amazing card. You know, is it ever cards like that ever steer you? Well, I shouldn't say this because you were just playing a red blue deck the other day at the Portland PQ of last month. But is that a card that's like on your radar for any other aggressive strategies?
Which card again?
Knowledge and Defense.
Oh, Knowledge and Defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, high potential there for getting a 2-for-1 if you're able to clean something up and continue getting a card.
Well, speaking of cleaning something up, Ben just laid into Zach's base here, raising him all the way up to 20 with the loan shark, the senator, and the operative. And again, the counters are spread a lot here. So it is 10 to 20 in Ben's favor. Both players walking away with a lot more points added to their teams and themselves this week. But one of them is definitely wants to, get that entry into Galactics. And time is getting closer. We have one more set, which means we're going to see, at least in this area, probably 3 more PQs.
Yeah, excited to get another wave of PQs in for Galactics. Should be fun, especially post rotation.
Oh, I know it's going to be the Wild West for
Yeah.
sure. It's just going to be a wild that first qualifier that everyone goes to. I can't imagine what the breakdown's going to be. It's going to be awesome.
Could be chaos.
I love it. I love it. That's what makes this game great. It's like you can try to prepare for everything, but at the end of the day, there's usually, especially when we get to a full, I know we're rotating, so we're going to have less, but when you have 6 sets to work with, it's over 100 combinations when you think of leaders and colors.
Yeah, there's so many to choose from.
That was top of the
Topple.
summit. Top of the summit. Yeah, there we go. Great card there. Doesn't have to. It didn't use it as a plot since Deidre comes out so early. But look at how much it just destroyed what Ben had in play.
Wreaking havoc on a lot of Ben's board, sure.
Yeah, Zach is at 25, and he's definitely going to take a little bit more damage here. But Ben still has plenty of resources left, and Zach's going to have more time to respond to it. Remote Saber Tank, A-Wing. Ooh, yeah.
Annoying A-Wing's back.
There it is.
There's the scoop.
Yeah, Ben just didn't have the answer, so it's going to go. I mean, Zach didn't have the answer, so it's going to go to Ben of the Babu Freaks, giving him his second game win. And that means we'll be going into the quarterfinals here in a bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket here because we do have a couple of your team members. And before we go on a short break while we wait on the other matches to finish up. So let's take a look here.
Yeah, very well played by both players. Stoked for Ben to be progressing.
All right, so this is what we had to start the day. We have Rob versus Carson, Keegan versus Galen, Zach versus Ben, and Alex versus Zaid. So team members of Babu Freaks are who?
It's going to be Alex, Rob, and Ben, teammates in the top 8 tonight.
That's a great spread. So 3 different players in 3 different brackets here. We know Zach's going to continue here, and
Ben's going to
continue here. Sorry, and then we're going to see what happens between Alex and Zaid, who are also team members, and they'll be playing in another team member going into this match.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the rest of these quarterfinals go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really, really great. So, before we go to the break, while we're waiting for other players, because is 40 minutes left in this round, we'll check on the other ones. Julian, I really appreciate you coming in, giving some insights here to not just the game, but also your teammates and some of the steps you guys have taken as a team to improve. And I also want to say how much I appreciate what you guys do in the community. You guys are a great team that show up and have a great you get a great response from the community of players here. Like, I always feel like people are excited to see you guys. They really trust your guys' judgment. They see how much you take this seriously, but also you guys make a lot of things exciting. So I want to thank you guys for being a team that shows up and comes to these events and and shares a lot of your insights and gives so much of this community opportunity to get better.
Yeah, of course. Portland's such a great community. Not just my teammates, but everyone else too. Yeah, thanks for you. Thanks to you for streaming as well.
Hey, I love it. I love to show what we're doing here today. I love to talk about these players and these teams because we do have something special, and I think it's only going to continue to grow, and that's what's going to make Star Wars Unlimited such a memorable experience for all of us. Even if it means hanging out at this store for 13 hours, those are the experiences we're going to have. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back here in the next finals. We're going to have a couple of limited experts, some Portland experts covering the next round here. But I thank you for hopping on, and we will catch everyone here in the next match within the next 40 minutes or so. Stay tuned because it may start sooner than that.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We have Dave Clark here on the mics. We're giving D-Rod a little bit of a break. And I got my limited buddy and travel partner, Graham, here with me. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so in this semifinal round, we have a team-on-team matchup of both Ben and Alex, Team Babu Freaks from Portland area, and they are both on Leia. We have Ben on Leia Yellow and then Alex on Leia Green. Now, it was definitely an interesting draft overall. In this draft, the 8 players, the heroism and the villainy players were kind of segregated on 2 halves of the table. So there was 4 villainy players in a row and then 4 heroism players in a row. And all 4 heroism players have now made it into the top 4.
Really interesting in your match.
All right. And looks like who's starting with the initiative here? Yeah, and they are both rocking the sector Babu Frick mat here, so should be interesting. And it looks like Zach will be on the initiative as he is the number, or Ben will be, or Alex will be on the initiative as he is the number 4 seed versus Ben's number 6. Now, Graham, how do you feel about this kind of matchup coming up? What do you think has the advantage going into this Leia mirror, the yellow deck or the green deck?
I watched Zayd play Alex last round, so I won't give any spoilers for what is in Alex deck. But I think this one will be really interesting because yellow has Beguile. They both have really good 1-drops. This should be a really, really intense matchup. What
Yeah,
about you?
it definitely seems like the green deck is going to try and lock up the ground, whereas maybe the yellow deck might try to pivot into space. Definitely in the last round, Ben was on camera and had a 6/7 sized A wing that was started on turn one. But we do have some deck lists here that we can take a look at. Definitely looks like Ben has some pretty strong uncommons on his side. At least in Vigilance, Heroism, he's got both the Coronet, which made an appearance last round, and then two Senator Chuchis, which might make racing very tough for Alex. Any standouts you're seeing over there on Alex's list?
There's some pretty interesting stuff here. Alex has Bo-Katan on the top end if this goes really long, and I believe there was also, just looking for it here on the list. There's also Mon Mothma that could have a really clutch play where they could play cards or attack and then be able to attack again with Mon Mothma.
I could definitely see that being a pretty big thing on the flip turn if maybe you're able to get 2 attacks off with Leia and get a second pump. And it looks like both sides are starting off with their 1-drops. We have one BMO and then one Populist Advisor. And it looks like we're revealing a Nimble Prowess and didn't quite catch the other card. But I think right now Alex is definitely where he wants to be. He has 2 Populist champions in his list overall, so having this, 2/5 unit that also just gains Sentinel to muck up the ground can be quite annoying in a lot of the matchups.
Yeah, I'm just looking through Ben's list and it looks extremely strong as well. But both players off to a really good start with their turn 1 plays and experience buff.
Yeah, and it looks like Alex is going to try and, go and play a little bit off curve by playing a 1 and then a 2 so that he can get his layup pump in each turn. It'll be interesting to see what Ben decides to do to kind of either match that or maybe try and, just curve out with a little bit of bigger units. And it looks like Nimble Prowess is coming down early to kind of start the racing.
Nimble Prowess is just great. It's a sneaky trick to mess up the combat math, how you do the dance.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting though. If you do play it early, you don't have it saved up for the Leia flip turn because tapping down their opponent leader can really completely change the math and ruin a lot of plans a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's a really tucky card. It's good in a lot of situations.
Yeah, but it looks like Ben has like basically the triple 1-drop turn 2 to be able to pump and play another space threat. But as of right now, all of Alex's units are out of range, unfortunately. And it looks like Alex is just claiming, and Ben is deciding on if BMO is going to base, face, or do some damage and do some chip damage on some other units. Looks like he's choosing to take the 3 damage onto the sponsor, and we'll probably be following it up with the A-Wing in space.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Leia, and especially Leia Cunning, is that you can really just pick a lane and stack whatever lane they're not doing.
Yeah, and sometimes, the Leia green decks do have some trouble kind of dealing with the space units. Generally, they're not playing anything until, resource 4 or 5, and by that point, the A-Wing might already be out of control. And so going into the 4 resource turn, we'll see what Alex decides to do. He does not currently have a trade on board with the BMO, and looks like this is probably going to be a fairly long, grindy matchup at this point with 0 damage on the base and quite a bit of restore already in play. Now, what I'm seeing in Alex's hand is possibly a Bardottan Ornithopter, but it looks like he's just going to start off with the sponsor going into the base for 3 here, getting first blood off. then we do see Ben have a couple power cards in his hand. I did see the Lando in hand, a junior senator that could be useful in popping off some experience tokens in this matchup, and then also Chuchi there. So it looks like this restore is going to be the name of the game in this format.
Ornithopter with the reveal. Galen could definitely shut some things down or turn things off as well.
Yeah, the one thing is can't really shut off Leia, which might be the biggest threat overall because it is a non-leader. Is the specification on that, but it looks like we are going to be kind of just grinding this out. It looks like probably the flip turn is going to be like the big deciding factor, though Ben does have the Lando legendary in his hand, which could make the race very interesting if it does get to a racing point. And it looks like BMO's just going to get into base and restore 1 there. And we'll be trading some damage for now. And probably, okay, the junior senator is coming down. I was thinking maybe Chuchi, but putting down this junior senator does get him the free kill on the sponsor there by shrinking it down into lethal range, and then we'll get another 3 into base with the A-Wing.
Great card.
Yeah, definitely can be pretty tricky in the matchup. Also, we'd love our 3-2s to punish those gonk droid starts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because nothing worse than a gonk droid getting out of control.
Definitely kill on sight.
Now we are into the 5 resource turn. It looks like Alex is just going to take the free trade there, get 2 damage back, and we'll see what happens next. If Ben does have double white to reveal, he can give his BMO Sentinel to protect his junior senator. So we'll see if he has the cards to do that or if he wants to reveal those 2. We're definitely see a light maker and a Chuchi, so he does have it. And the light maker is definitely going to be should be a pretty solid card, though. If now that Alex has seen it, he might just pump the Bardot in this turn and then be able to trade into it next turn. And it looks like he's definitely going to leave himself open for that. Galen coming down. Not really sure what he's going to call, but there are a couple cards that he's seen already. And my guess is maybe Light Maker. As Galen can remove. Oh, okay. I guess it's no. BMO has Sentinel. Never mind. But by playing Galen, he does leave himself up to pump a card this turn. Does mean though that he'll be able to play the Light Maker down and possibly get a 7 hit in before there can be any trades that go in.
Yeah, Lightmaker uncontested is absolutely terrifying. With the raid and ability with Leia to boost it as well. It's also pretty hard to interact with her kill.
Yeah, and can make the race over very quickly if it inopportunely dies at a certain point. Being able to exhaust all units in enemy units in a specific arena can really put things in a difficult position. Yeah, because next turn, he'll be able to get his 7 hit in. Okay, and then the pump going on Galen. I guess he wants some way to be able to take out this BMO finally that's been on the board since turn 1.
BMO is definitely a card that's grown on me over this season, played more limited.
Yeah, a lot of times I have a very low tolerance for units that have 0 attack in general. Not really great, but with the restore and then also the ability to get the Sentinel off, it can really ruin a lot of plans people have for their turns. And it looks like he's going to absorb another 2 damage there and put the populous advisor, and at least in a point where he can take it out with the unit finally.
Definitely an all-star in a Leia deck as well. Being able to give any unit Sentinel and that restore and hard to take off the board really does a lot of work over time.
Yeah. So we are going into the 6 resource Leia flip turn. It'll be interesting to see how this is navigated. At least from what we saw, Ben had the Chuchi and the Lando in hand, so maybe he's drawn something good for this turn. I usually like to try and pair Leia up with a 5-drop on turn 6, so that way you can get 2 discloses and 2 pumps in a turn. But I'm guessing that there will be 7 coming into base, at least to start at this point.
So how is Galen worded exactly?
So when it played, you name a card, so a card name, and then each card with that name loses all abilities.
Okay.
Or each non-leader card with that ability. So when played, name a card. While this unit is played, each non-leader card an opponent owns with that name, including those not in play, loses all abilities and can't gain abilities.
Thank you.
Yeah. So maybe he did. No, so he must not have named, or I guess there's still the possibility he named Lightmaker because the Bardon had some damage on it. It looks like Leia's coming into play for Alex. I think he's doing a plot check right now, or no plot to pair her up with. And we got dueling Leia's coming in, and it looks like maybe there's going to be a battle tank here. Yeah, the battle tank is usually a pretty, what do you call it? Pretty good teammate for Leia.
Oh, wow. We're going to have a haymaker here. Crucible coming in, dropping 3 experience tokens.
Yeah,
and neither of the Leias have attacked yet.
Yeah, that's definitely an awkward place to be because now Leia can definitely just take out the tank in one shot, and he's definitely providing a pretty big threat on board overall. The Populous Champion still has 3 health left, so we're either looking at BMO trading in or Junior Senator trading in to try and get it off the board once it gains Sentinel. Yeah, and well, I would definitely agree. There is a lot of units on board right now. I think the the matchup of things being pretty similar usually leads to pretty messy board states. Most players are playing kind of the similar cards overall. And it looks like Leia will be taking out the advisor and pumping the remote tank to at least make Alex have it to show and get through the tank this turn. Now, would you be thinking about removing the Leia here, or are you thinking face?
As a Sabine main, I'm always considering face or thinking about possible lines to go face, but this might be a good time to try to take out Leia. I'm just trying to read the board state here. There's a lot of moving pieces going on here.
Yeah, and you definitely probably want to try and clear things up so if the Crucible does die, it doesn't pump everything again. But looks like BMO is getting in and going to base and giving Sentinel to itself.
BMO holding it down.
And, getting that damage there. I wonder if Ben will try to claim early to get another 7 hit in.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask you about with the Lightmaker before it gets free traded away.
It also depends if Galen is the one that, or named Lightmaker. So if it is, then it's just a significantly less scary space unit that won't have raid and won't be able to tap down your opponent's board.
We're fairly positive that it was Lightmaker, right?
I mean, from the way that it's looked so far, I don't think he named Chuchi. But yeah, I think that's what we're probably looking at. I mean, we'll see here. The proof's in the pudding here. If it's is able to take out the Crucible or do a big 7 hit. But I think Alex does have the initiative going into this round, so he's going to make the first decision about what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's the Lando that's been revealed as well, which can be some really sneaky life gain.
Yeah,
Or to even protect a guy at times.
yeah, I don't know how much life gain's going to matter in this, but he is a 6/8 grit, and if you do not have a good answer to that, that guy can end the game very quickly.
I figured it wouldn't be surviving long enough for that to be a line.
Yeah, so we'll see. It looks like Lightmaker was definitely the name called because Galen is now still untapped. So we'll see here. What do you think? Do you think that Ben should try and race this out? I mean, he does have the Lando at this point, so he might be able to, be able to do enough threats, do 5 more damage to base here, and hopefully get through it.
This is a really tricky turn, right? Because it's turn 7, so you always got to think about the Shadow Crawler coming in. So Leia might be kind of use it or lose it here.
Yeah.
Unless you can protect her in some way with a Sentinel or play something else.
Yeah, I think I would try and just get in the 5 damage here if possible, but it's hard to see if he does have the mono green card to pump Leia this turn. Oh, it looks like it's just getting in for 4, so no command card only.
Yeah, I had that happen earlier this week when we were playtesting, where I had all heroic cards in hand. So I had a few turns where it was awkward, where I couldn't actually use Leia's ability.
Yeah, that never feels great, and then you start to wonder, it's like, did I make some wrong resourcing decisions along the way?
True, true.
Yeah. But my guess now with Lightmaker off the board, Galen's probably going to trade and take this Leia out of commission. I think, at this point, Alex is just going to try and do everything he can to grind out this game. He does have a couple catch-up cards like the Renowned Dignitaries, which we saw him gain 8 life off of last round. So
yeah, that was brutal. Good said.
Yeah. But we are kind of getting to the point where it could be possibly game could end quickly if there's a couple threats on board. Josh, I do think Leia is definitely very strong in this format. She is pretty slow overall, having the 6 flip. There are times where you can get out early and knock her out, but she's definitely close to the power level of Anakin. I think Anakin was just kind of limited warping overall.
Yeah, once Leia turns the corner, though, it can be really scary. There's usually a fair amount of restore in the deck as well. So if you can manage to stabilize and not get burst out by like a Yularen or a Slimore or something like that.
Yeah, or even Dedra with like a pretty strong flip turn. I definitely had some luck today versus Leia. I think I probe droided an opponent and they showed me Coronet, Queen Amidala, and Renowned Dignitaries, and I was like, this is going to be a tough game.
There were a lot of Queen Amidalas today. I got taken out by one, a second or third round as well.
Yeah. So it looks like we got Mina coming in and then Lando coming down for Ben. It looks like he's pumping up the Galen to try and get a little more damage in, and probably does that get him out of range of the Leia if he swings in? So he'd have 8, and yep, so that gets him to 1 health left on Galen. And it looks like Alex might have been possibly a little light on playables as we see Crosshair coming down out of aspect.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Leia is definitely the least punishing of having an out of aspect card because it can almost always turn into +1/+1 somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Ben's been the beatdown this whole game, but Lando is still quite the beater.
Yeah. One wrong attack into him can really end you with that 6/8 grit body.
Yeah, it could be like just trading something off the board, and then it's like a 2-turn clock.
So. But let's see. Yeah, because even with a pump this turn, Galen's not going to be able to one-shot the Lando, so you do risk kind of running into a big Sentinel unit that can protect him, and then becomes game over very quickly. And it looks like with the initiative, we will see what Ben decides to do, if we're going 6 to base here, or if we have some other play to make along the way. I mean, unless he has 2 space threats, it's going to be pretty hard to kind of contest the coronet at this point without it kind of pumping the whole board. But knowledge and defense is definitely a good answer for the Galen, giving it -2/-2 and taking it off the board.
Yeah, Galen was doing some serious work this game.
Yeah. Now, we'll see what Alex has to kind of try and match that. With only 3 damage on base, he's basically stuck on the defensive for right now. You know, could be changed around pretty quickly, though, if he's able to get some couple more officials into play and maybe get, you know, a nice burst heal from the dignitaries.
See where Lando's going here.
Yeah.
Straight to base. You love to see it.
Yeah, and I also feel like I think I saw Ben here with a aggressive negotiations, so he is putting him into a range where that could possibly kind of end the game. Or, nope, no aggressive negotiations.
No splash aggressive.
Yeah, that card's definitely been a standout overall in this format.
That was make or break for some of my matchups today, too. You can just do a big amount of damage out of nowhere or take out a leader.
Yeah, definitely would have been nice to have one of those in my pool, as came up 1 damage short 2 or 3 times today.
Yeah. And then here we got the Coronet. Definitely one of the best uncommons in this limited format.
Yeah, and I think also importantly, matches up pretty well with Crucible, in that the Crucible can't take it out without having to do the pump beforehand. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and it probably looks like everything's going into Lando to take it out, because can't afford to take a hit from him.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So already the other match is going pretty quick. They are already in game 3 in the other semifinal match, and see what's coming down here. We do have the Luthen versus Mon Mothma matchup. Luthen blue versus a Mon Mothma red deck.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like you were saying earlier about how one side of the table was drafting villainous and the other was doing heroic. All of the villainous decks were defeated in the top 8, so it is all heroic decks from here on out.
Yeah, it'd be. I'd say that overall that's pretty surprising. Probably a lot of people stepping on each other's toes, but seems like the heroic decks, there might have just been a better pool open for that overall.
Yeah, there's definitely some really strong cards in both players' decks.
All right, and it looks like Ben is going to take the free trade into the Coronet while he has the chance, and there's nothing else on the board for it to pump. Yeah, and I think Alex is probably in a pretty tough position here. If Ben does have a couple more space units, that could be game ending pretty quick. There is almost no pressure on the board, and the Coronet in play also makes, you know, racing a really tough option at this point. I think Alex is really looking at trying to kind of get some sort of heal bomb off, and we're starting off with a populist advisor, and Ben will be pumping the Coronet, it looks like. we'll see what he reveals off of it. Another space unit. So as I said, that could be a path to victory for Ben at this point. You know, unless Alex has the 4-5 Space Sentinel, the Consular Shuttle, it'll be pretty difficult. And there is the Renowned Dignitaries coming down for that 4 health gain. And it looks like that's pretty much it for this turn for Alex. Or no, I guess he has 2 resources left. So it's really going to have to do some work here to pump up his guys and get it into a thing, because he's only representing 7 on board, and Ben will be restoring 2 with the Coronet at this Coronet's ability and its restore. Boom, and then
there's an on there all-star.
Yeah, Bell is definitely hard. It's also quite annoying that there is no good option to remove her before she's going to get her 6 damage into this turn.
Absolutely.
You know, with
and the restore.
Oh yeah. I mean, at this point, the restore is just kind of extra. We're not in a racing situation, but oh,
and here is an absolute
game changer.
Definitely a game changer.
You know,
especially in the Leia Mirror, where I think a lot of these games are going to go a little bit longer. You're going to get a chance to actually play that card.
Yeah, and it basically blanks the Sheathipede too for this turn, so there's not going to be any damage coming in from there. And
strange tokens go wherever you want.
Yep. And it does not look like Vel is probably long for this world at this point.
Use it or lose it.
Yeah. And then Alex is still going to be able to apply some pressure with the overwhelm here, so it'll probably be a pretty good turn overall.
Yeah, this game's been really back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think Ben can do to kind of turn it around at this point?
They have a little bit of damage in space. I don't know. That Bo-Katan is just so hard to deal with.
Yeah, because even now with the pump, we're not gonna get any damage done this turn, or any more damage done this turn.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how many cards Ben has to interact with Bo-Katan.
Yeah, especially because everything keeps on growing.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ben is going to try and close out this game as quickly as possible, or trying to decide where the 1/1 counter goes from killing Vel.
Choices.
Yeah. So with 7 resources left, and how much do we got damage on there? We got 9 plus another 8, so 17 damage represented on board. Ben is going to really have to kind of put some threats into play in order to kind of close out this game before it ends.
And no trigger there because there's no damaged unit.
Yep.
But another all-star in any heroic deck.
Well, there's lethal damage. Will Ben have enough actions to do it, or will Alex be able to close up this game?
Did the cunning unit attack base this turn, or did it get tapped down?
No, it attacked, but attacked for 0 because it was getting -3.
Oh, right.
I think he was just using
that was a really long turn. I had spaced out on
Yeah.
the Bo-Katan. It was just doing the dance for baiting in action before they did other things to spend resources.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, because I don't think there was any way for him to kind of get the initiative going into this turn. You know, if Ben does have a bog down with procedure, this would be a great time for it to show up, or even just being able to tap 1 unit right now might be able to win him the game. All right. Well, that's something. That's removing the damage there, so.
And this is a card that we've talked a lot about. this season. It used to be something that if I had other playable things that I would sometimes not run in the main deck, but especially against Leia, that card is really, really good when they eggs basket on some of the earlier drops like BMO or
Yeah, the covert operative can
A-Wing.
be pretty backbreaking into at least these Leia matchups. I was not 100% convinced on it. The 2/4 body seemed like it was probably not great, but into Leia, it can really blank a lot of resources in the early turns, especially if they don't really have that many options to do. There was definitely a PQ a couple weeks ago where I didn't really have anything else to do but start pumping up my dude, and then them just dropping that on the 4 resource turn was pretty much game over.
Sometimes you get too greedy with the eggs basket, as they say.
Yeah, but looks like so we have 7 on board. Alex definitely is Alex the one that has the aggressive negotiations? No. He does have a sudden ferocity too, so maybe that is enough to get there this game. But he is looking at lethal damage in space right now. Or no,
There'd have to be a Leia pump. So I think there's 9 on board right now, and if Leia pumps, then it will be lethal. So they're exchanging actions and dancing back and forth.
Yeah, I mistook that for the 3-2 in space, not the 2-3.
Yeah, you got it. I was doing some quick math there myself to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, if Alex does have the Space Sentinel, it would be a very nice card to slam right now. But it looks like they might just be playing it out to see what happens, or maybe hope that he doesn't have the pump to do it.
Prove it.
Yeah. And yep, it looks like that will be scooping up game 1 here. A little bit of a long game, a little bit of a drawn out, almost 30 minutes into that game. But it's generally what happens in Leia mirrors. Hopefully they are able to kind of get through the whole match.
Yeah, this Leia mirror was really intense.
But, yep. So Ben's taking game 1. All right, and it looks like in the other half of the bracket, we have Carson winning with the Mon Mothma red deck. So it looks like it's going to be Leia versus Mon Mothma going into the finals. Now, did you watch any of Carson's game before versus Rob?
I did not, but I overheard some kind of cool things. It'll have to be a surprise for the final.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty solid, and he does have some sweet tech versus Leia. That's going to be pretty good.
The other person they played in the top 4 was playing Luthen, you said?
Yes.
Awesome. You love to see it. We
And
love Rebels here.
Yeah. But it's definitely surprising to see Mon Mothma make it all the way to the end of a PQ. I think overall, our kind of opinion of Mon Mothma started off a little bit higher and then's kind of gone down over our course of playing limited in this format.
Yeah, I'm usually going into the sealed. I'm praying not to play a Mon Mothma pool, but when you get to a top 8 draft, you're just trying to do whatever you can, and maybe they're trying to stay open for signaling. They're just picking up select
select officials.
Yeah, thank you.
And it looks
staying
like
open to colors.
And definitely looks like his green-white pool is pretty solid overall.
Yeah, this looks pretty sweet.
Oh. Now we are going into game 2 here. It looks like players are drawing their hands. Alex will be on the initiative after dropping game 1. Now, do you think there was anything Alex could have done differently to maybe change that match, or was he just always kind of on the back foot the entire time?
I mean, they were really just trying to hold on for a long time. Once they stabilized, they had that huge beater with Bo-Katan. But Crucible did a lot of work. Galen did a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was pretty touch and go there for a few turns.
Yeah, and it looks like Ben just had too many was able to go wide enough where he was able to finish the game there. I mean, having the He played 3 cards on the turn after Bo-Katan came down.
Yeah. So that says a lot of like foresight for the game plan and what he was trying to do.
Yeah, and things are looking a little familiar this time around again.
BMO's back. Yep, I think these are the same 2 1-drops and layup pumps that we saw. Maybe different reveals as last time.
Yeah. Now, doesn't look like Alex has a great follow-up to this turn 1 play. I'm seeing a lot of 4 drops in hand and then also another 1 drop. As I said, something that you might be worrying about on Alex's side now is, if you are walking into a covert operative that you did see in game 1 from Ben. So that can really put a damper on your momentum going into this turn or, going into the next turn. And it looks like we're having
Here's the A-wing again. Yeah.
almost a very similar start again. Yeah. Now, would you pump BMO or the A-wing this turn?
The way the stat lines are lining up, it might be good to get some experience tokens on the A-wing as well to diversify your assets.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, either player could have the 2/4 that captures, so you want to be mindful about putting too many experience tokens on a unit.
Yeah. And it looks like we are going base here. Alex feeling like he didn't quite get enough early game damage last time, so maybe he's trying to put himself in a better position going into the middle game or mid game. And it does look like Ben does have the covert operative in hand. We'll see if it comes down and takes out the populist advisor again. Yeah, that also might have been a reason to maybe do some damage into BMO this turn. Playing around something like that.
Yeah. So you're doing something with the experience tokens.
Yeah.
In case it disappears.
We have Galen coming down. Things that we've seen so far are Lone Shark, and it looks like the covert operative is getting slammed here.
That's a great heads-up play.
Yeah, my guess is probably named Lone Shark as he's seen that. Whether he also showed him the heroic arc, so maybe the heroic arc was called.
Yeah, that would also require there to be a damage on the unit, but BMO can still get in and do something before that.
Yeah, and here comes the operative down. Maybe a reason to kind of spread out your threats onto the Senator's aid this turn. And with the initiative, we do have the 2 attack on the aid, and that will be able to at least get some damage onto the covert operative. And Ben's going to start plinking away in space with that A-wing. Now, things are looking somewhat similar to last round overall. I know that the covert operative has been doing quite a bit of work in this top 8. I think in the last round, it was able to take out a Zam Wessel that had been emergency powered. So I think Ben was definitely saying it was been a standout all day for him.
Oh my goodness.
All right. And what we're getting from the judge is that Galen named Heroic Arc 170.
Which is one of the cards that had been revealed, like
Yep.
you said, between that and the Lone Shark.
Yeah. So, yep. And by trading out to the covert operative, you do protect yourself from the heroic arc, but there is still the Lone Shark in waiting to collect the debts.
Yeah, it was kind of a rock and a hard place between both of those 4 drops this turn.
And still leaves him 1 resource to pump again this turn. And we have the Raxian Assembly coming down for Alex. I'd say it's like a great card, but the stat line on this card has been a little bit more impressive than I thought it was. The 6 attack is relevant a lot of the times, and there aren't a lot of 5 attack units at 4 that make it a bad trade. So um, it is vanilla, it isn't official, and coming into this turn, we might see a big renowned dignitaries gain 6 life here and take away most of the work that Ben has done already.
Yeah, I definitely used it once or twice today to win some Yularen mirrors as well.
Yeah.
It adds up nice. And then you can get experience tokens off of a variety of things to kill some bigger leaders as well.
Yeah.
Like Leia. Or just even being in range of Heroic Arc or other cards that, shoot for 2 damage.
Yeah. Looks like Leia's coming down as first action. Plot check, but we got nothing. And here comes the bog down with procedure, which is going to do some serious work here, tapping down 10 power worth of units.
Super important turn for bog down.
And it looks like space is shut down now with the Jade Squadron patrol coming in. A-Wing's going to have a rough day getting through that. It only has 4 power on attack right now. And math is also a little awkward with the populist advisor in play. Looks like Alex might be turning the corner here. He hasn't taken a whole ton of damage going into this turn, and though Ben still has the Leia flip available to him.
And some available resources, so there could be a pump before the flip as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could double pump the A-Wing to get it through the Jade Squadron this turn.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about, or if they're going to prioritize trying to clean up stuff on the ground more.
Yeah.
See what happens here.
Looks like Leia might, I think he's definitely trying to get the extra 1 in, but maybe it's not lining up perfectly with his hand. You definitely want to try and be able to use as many resources as possible, especially in limited. So we'll see if Ben has the ability to do that. We've definitely seen this heroic arc a couple times, and it looks like he's lining up the loan shark to take out the populist advisor. So maybe he thinks that space is just not going to happen anymore this game.
Yeah. It's not looking the best on the ground though either though, so this is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing I'd be worried about, like, if you were going to go the double pump into the A-Wing, that does mean that the Raxian simply just gets to kill your layout on the following turn.
Yeah, on the get back.
Yeah. But I think he's probably just going to try and go wide and get some damage in. Maybe have BMO do some awkwardness on the ground to, give some sentinels around and make it so next turn's attack is not as exciting.
Yeah, I'm guessing more than likely that Alex will have initiative going into the next turn, so it's a matter of what Ben wants to do on the ground or not.
Yeah, and it looks like Ben's hand is the heroic arc, the coronet, and possibly another bog down with procedure.
Your eyesight's far better than mine.
Yeah, it's some sort of a yellow card. And yes, in this mirror matchup, we are getting to insane board states overall. Oh, so it's Accelerate Our Plans is the last card in your hand. So fortunately, he's not going to be able to use it this turn. It would have been nice to... Oh, I guess he could use it this turn to take out the Jade Squadron patrol.
Yeah, that's a techie play that we've been talking about a little bit in some of our draft meetups.
Yeah. I mean, it's no joke. It's a pretty big pump overall for one resource.
It's like the awkward surprise strike, right?
Yeah.
For 1 less. Just tap a unit.
Surprise strike with a higher
Shimmy,
cost
shimmy,
overall.
shake.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it got the job done there.
Yeah. And I guess that's what matters. It does also clear up the board so the coronet can come in and start doing its work uncontested in space.
Yeah, and the stat line on the coronet is just so good. as a 4/7 plus all of the restore.
Yeah, it really matches up pretty well. And then also with kind of the layup pumps, you are looking at not a whole lot of things that can stop it before it can start eating lots of other units.
Yeah, what did we see out of Alex? Last game in space, the biggest thing was the Crucible, right?
Yeah, and
That would still take 2 layup pumps to even deal with the Cornet.
yeah, and I think he's only had, yeah, it looks like only one Jade Squadron patrol, so the Cornet's going to be pretty uncontested this
That
this
was an
round.
Uprising revealed.
Yes, to get Leia off the board. Now the real question is, does he want to trade the Lone Shark out? I mean, generally, I feel like when you have the ability to take Leia off the board, you should definitely think about it, but it does leave him with just BMO in play and nothing else really to go on. But it looks like he's choosing to go face here, and it looks like he's going to get punished pretty hard here with the Mon Mothma being able to
Yeah.
get the second Leia attack, a second pump, and take out the BMO without any kind of retribution overall.
I'm gonna reveal again as well.
Yep. And that was definitely a card that we talked about, and I think despite the life totals being a little lopsided, now with the Mon Mothma and the Restore 3, we're looking at a pretty serious problem here for Ben.
Yeah, they have Restore as well, right?
Yeah, it's Restore 3, so, and it looks like the Heroic Arc is finally going to make its appearance and take out the last 2 health on Leia after a Knowledge and Defense came down to shrink her a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I'd imagine the card's good in Hantu and Constructed, and also a limited All-Star.
Yeah.
4 in space is no joke.
The problem is at this point, Alex has been able to drag out the game pretty far. So if Bo-Katan comes down and clears out the board, that might be lights out at this point.
We are getting very close to Bo-Katan time. We're at
Yeah.
what, 7 resources?
I think 8 because
they're resourcing currently.
Yeah.
Word.
And looks like maybe Ben decided not to resource, and Alex definitely has 8 down.
All right. There's the Crucible again. Passing off an experience token to Mon Mothma.
Yeah, it's looking like we might be headed to game 3, but you never know. I mean, damage can pile up quickly, and if you do go wide enough, Alex is only presenting 1 or 2 large threats a turn, and if Ben does have a way to get wide enough, he might be able to, get that last kind of bit of damage in.
But yeah, it's tricky now that Ben knows about the Bo-Katan too, because that's how they won the last game, by going wide in space, and then they had exact lethal. But now you want to be, I guess because next turn is Bo-Katan, right? If we're at 8 resources this turn, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. It's an arms race.
Yeah. And
but also just with like Crucible and the Restore on Mon Mothma, Alex could very quickly turn the corner.
Yeah, I don't even know if like the Cornet's gonna help here. He's definitely kind of lining up to possibly play it this turn. He still has 6 resources left, and we'll see what Ben can do to deal with this kind of threat on the board here. Yeah, and here's our aforementioned Crucible. Of course, our Coronet, unfortunately, it gets eaten up by the Crucible at this point.
Yeah, with an experience token. It's at 6, right? It's 7 defense, right?
6. It's a 4/6.
4/6. Okay.
Yeah,
I misspoke last time though.
Yeah, that card would be pretty insane with 7 health. It's already hard enough to get off the board. It's like a, as I like to say, mini home one with giving restore to everything. Definitely one of Leia's best friends overall.
Another card that is also played and constructed, and the Crucible feels like a rare uncommon in the limited format.
Oh, Skinny Pepper. We're not sure if Alex has the Bo-Katan in hand, but he did have it last game, and it nearly helped him turn the corner. Yeah, so it looks like Crucible is going to be taking out the, or at least thinking about taking out the Coronet.
Doing some math on the board.
Yeah.
Cornet, another card like Gong Troid. Want to kill
Ooh.
as quickly as possible.
And that could definitely help out. The Nimble Prowess tapping down the Mon Mothma, saving 6 damage to base, or saving the Canyon Starhopper.
And the 3 restore.
Yeah, and 3 restore. So it is like a almost a 9-point swing. And
Ornithopter drawing a card.
yeah, getting us closer to Bo-Katan.
Dig, dig, dig.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely, I feel like, where Alex's deck is probably more comfortable. Though it is tough when you have 19 damage on base, or 24 now. Puts you at risk of, if Ben did have another accelerator plans, that might just end it for him with the attack. All right, and it looks like we got a Ferrex Uprising here to take the Heroic Arc off the board. And that might be curtains. But we'll see what else we got. I mean, I guess Lando could be a pretty serious threat if he still comes down. Hard to kind of take off the board overall. Looks like Leia is revealing the sudden ferocity and deciding where the 1/1 counter is going to go this turn.
Yep, that's the one with restore 3.
Yeah, the Alderaan envoys come in. Unfortunately, it is not quite a lethal threat here, but does not have or Alex doesn't have enough damage to kind of take it off the board right now. And the only thing he can really take off the board is the Starhopper, which is not a very exciting place to be with Mon Mothma. But at this point, he does, or I guess he's not looking at a lethal threat because the Restore 3 will be able to get him out of range of the 2 attackers. And here's our
Ooh.
here's a girl.
Big things popping. Bo-Katan.
Yeah. Just what you wanted, Skinny Pepper. Here's Bo.
From the top rope.
Yeah, the Mon is definitely putting work in. The Mon plus Leia turn really kind of seemed to turn the match at this point, getting the 2 attacks off with Leia. Really put Alex ahead. He got 2 good value trades, and Mon's just kind of been sitting in play getting the Restore 3 on.
Oh, that's interesting. A little speed bump for Mon Mothma here.
Now, it'll be interesting to see where he puts the Sentinel on. It looks like the Sentinel is going on the Canyon Hopper this turn, so that way he can possibly get in a 5 damage hit next turn.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about tank is it's very common that the tank gets Sentinel, but you can give it to any unit.
Yeah. And looks like Alex might be missing the +1/+1, or he's deciding on it right now. And it looks like it'll be going on to Mon Mothma. This has been a grindy matchup. We're only down to 20 minutes in the round timer at this point. Do you think it's worth it for Ben to try and concede and go to game 3, or do you think he's just so close that he might still have a chance at this point?
I think there might be at least one more turn played out, at
Yeah.
least part of the way before anything else happens.
Yeah.
He always can find a way.
Yeah. Does he have a second accelerator plans in there, or any way to kind of get some pump in? Let's see. It looks like there is only one there. Maybe a bog down with procedure, but now with the populist advisor in play, there is going to be a sentinel in play if he does go base with one hit.
Yeah. This has been a really good match.
Yep. Looks like we're going to get our 5 damage into base. But then, Mon's going to get back in for another 7 and restore 3.
Sentinel also activated on the 1-4, I believe.
Yeah, the populist advisor. And it looks like Mon's just going to be able to take out the 3-7 there.
Trying to stabilize a little bit.
I mean, Ben's going to need another 5 damage lethal threat in order to get through in this board. Otherwise, Bo-Katan's just going to clean up the tank. And what are we representing on board? We have 9, 10, plus another 10 in space. So that he does technically have
10,
lethal
you're
on
right,
board.
Yeah. That's exact lethal, right?
Yep. Oh, not anymore.
Just out of range.
Yeah,
but the layability also has not been used yet still, so
okay.
Technically.
Oh, and here comes the big boy, gaining another 6 life here.
Massive heal.
Yeah, Renowned Dignitaries, definitely one of my favorite cards. Helped me get to a top 8.
You had 2, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a little bit disgusting.
Just a wee bit. The fact that they have Overwhelm as well is also no joke.
The 5/6 stat line is good, and the gain life is better. The Overwhelm's just a bonus.
And kind of does it all.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's a crafty Lando.
Yeah, it looks like the Dalny Pilgrim is getting captured here. And we might have to look at what the tiebreaker rules, because I don't think there can't be ties in the top 8.
No, I'm not sure exactly if it goes off of
life,
the extra turn and the life, or exactly how it works.
Yeah.
And the Lando immediately got deleted.
Yeah, and it looks like that's going to be been seen enough here. And we're going to be going to game 3. And Moy is saying it's damage on base, or if tied, their initiative.
Yeah, there's other tiebreakers.
Yeah.
That's the part I wasn't quite sure of.
But yeah, because it is top 8, there has to be a winner. Now, I feel like that does put Ben kind of on the back foot here. Or no, put Alex on the back foot here, because Ben definitely has the ability to put out a lot of damage early.
Yeah, both games Ben has been the beatdown, and then Alex has been, maneuvering to stabilize and gain life and control the board a little bit more until they can Bo-Katan or do some other things.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how this one goes overall. So yeah, we'll see if people they start to play a little bit faster, or at least try to play a little faster to get to the end game for Alex here.
Yeah, both are very experienced and good players, so I'm sure they're both feeling it. But like both games were just kind of neck and neck, and very close games both times as well. A lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this is also just definitely the reality of the matchup.
Yeah.
I don't feel like either player has been slow playing at all.
No, and it's just been a lot of kind of pump. Someone's out of range. Someone's
lethal check, and
yeah. So
I don't think Mon showed up the first game, but they showed up the second. But Bo-Katan has made an appearance both times.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they are teammates overall, Skinny Peppers, so I think they're just trying to do the best to kind of get everything done overall. They're both part of Team Babu Freaks here. They had a quite strong showing overall, with 3 of the top 8 being part of their team. So,
Yeah, no friendly fire in the first round.
yeah. And it looks like Alex will be taking a mulligan here. I definitely saw the populist advisor in the deck or in hand at that point, so I wonder if he's trying to find a more kind of aggressive start overall.
Yeah, this game will be probably played much differently than the previous 2.
Yeah. So it looks like, oh no, he's back. The populist advisor is back.
Always have it.
I mean, he has 2, so it's pretty tough not to have it. It feels like, yeah. They're going to be quick playing this as fast as possible. A lot of things going on. Ben's with a pretty strong start off the bat. The A-Wing's probably going to get, maybe 9 to 12 damage in before Alex kind of has any answer to it.
Yeah.
We did see the Bardot and Ornithopter in hand,
Mm-hmm.
but
the A-Ring will quickly be able to probably get out of range of that too, with Ben on the play, being able to use the lay ability first.
no.
Also, one of the best 3-drops
Yeah.
in limited from Alex here.
Yeah, it's also the only 3/5 in the format there. And let's see what's going on. We have 4-2 as we are speed running this third game. And luckily in this format, there are only 30 health point base, so we don't have to worry about any rare bases changing the damage on base kind of math.
No data vault in limited.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And it looks like this A-Wing is quickly growing here. The populist advisor is taking out the Senate Warden, the Senate Warden. And we are swinging for 5 in space right now.
And also out of range of Ornithopter now too, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be a real haymaker on the ground and in space.
Yeah. It's also interesting because we've seen Lando now, and that can be a big life gain changer that could come into play if we does go to time here.
Absolutely. And we also have to remember that Ben has the Light Maker, which could be absolutely devastating.
Yeah.
For Alex if that comes out on curve. Yeah. Always has it, Bo-Katan.
Yeah, but the Sheathopede is going to be a little bit awkward too with that 4 health there. It does mean that the Ornithopter is not going to be able to take it out with 1 hit unless it's pumped.
No, the text on that one is when it dies, you get to untap a resource.
Yeah,
or
your
a
opponent
unit?
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So could be relevant. The 1 resource, you can always fit in 1 resource and lay it feels like. But this A-Wing's already done 10 damage in the few couple turns, and looks like, Alex is going to be dropping down Jar Jar and pumping the Ornithopter to at least try and prevent some of this damage in space. So that puts it at 5 power. Not quite enough to take out the A-Wing, though.
Yeah, A-Wing's already out of range.
And
and there's the Light Maker revealed from hand too. Is that bogged down?
Yep. So that is probably going to be curtains for Alex in this game, I'm guessing, unless he's able to get a pretty big. I mean, he is at risk of getting super blown out by renowned dignitaries any turn. He's not. Ben is not contesting the ground arena at all, and there are already 3 officials in play with Leia. That could be 4, and that could be a 10 heal. Maybe even 12 now with the High Command Counselor coming into play.
Dignitaries has definitely been something that Alex has used to bridge the gap to Bo-Katan the last 2 games. So the fact that they're pretty much in opposite lanes here
could
be a lot of life gain.
I think Alex is probably going to have to take out the Sheathipede right away to at least save himself some 3 life here. But, we're also on the Leia flip turn. Leia plus A-Wing is potentially lethal if the dance is done correctly, kind of thing. The Populist Advisor is still in play, so if he does get in with the A-Wing to start off, then he will be dealing with a Ground Sentinel.
Yeah, and we know that Ben has 2 operatives for the capture, but I don't think Alex has any on the opposite end.
I have not seen it yet. And here's Renowned Dignitaries, as we thought.
10 life?
Yeah, 10 life.
Let's go.
It's interesting that he chose to do that first, rather than try and take out the Sheathipede, but maybe he's just trying to get as much value as possible and get the untap so he can get a Leia pump in this turn too.
Yeah.
Now we have 2, 5, 8, 10, 14 damage on board, at least in play for Alex right now, which is no joke overall. Next turn is the Lando turn. So, yeah, and this is also what I'm kind of worried about is now he's not able to take off the Sheathipede if he pumps the Sheathipede.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to do.
I like that. Keeps out of range of the Ornithopter.
Yeah, I think, say, maybe he got a little greedy trying to get the extra 1 there. Also, Alex is definitely at risk of Ben just dropping Lightmaker and being able to tap his entire ground.
Yeah, if it dies.
Yeah.
How much toughness does Lightmaker have again?
4. So just enough for the Ornithopter to take it out.
Yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. And both players know that the other one has Bo-Katan and Lightmaker from the Leia reveals.
Yeah, or Lando and Lightmaker.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna make it to Bo-Katan time this game.
Never tell me the odds, Dave. Never tell me the odds.
But both players are playing quite quick here. Try and get this game in before the round timer expires, or at least get it to a point where there's going to be an obvious winner.
Yeah, this has definitely been one of the most exciting top 8 matches that I've watched all season.
Yeah, it's definitely been really back and forth.
Really good players, a lot of intricate things, close lethals,
yeah.
A lot of things to keep track of for port states.
Yeah, and it looks like I don't make any declarations right now, but it looks like possibly the Ornithopter not taking out the Sheathipede is going to matter.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to get the 1 extra in. And that will be 8 or 7 more to base.
Was there one game where Ben played 2 Bogdowns in a single game, or has it been 1 each game?
I think it's just 1, if I'm looking at his list correctly. The other card was the Accelerate Our Plans.
That's right.
Yeah.
The sneaky surprise strike.
Yeah, so only 1 Bogdown in his pool total.
Thank you.
But it's been pretty good both games.
Absolutely. Speaking of Lightmaker.
Looks like Alex already claimed, and that will be it for this game. Too many space units, too much damage early, and no answers for that A-Wing, which ended up doing almost 20 damage probably.
Yeah.
even with the 10 mana or even with the 10 heal from renowned dignitaries, it still wasn't enough to kind of get there.
Yeah, very well played by both players.
Yeah.
Congrats to both of them.
I'll say like maybe one of the things that might have changed things up is attacking the Sheathipede early, then kind of flipping layup, and then getting the extra 2 health from the renowned dignitaries. But Alex was in a tough position overall. And it looks like in the finals we are going to have Leia Yellow versus Mon Mothma Red.
Awesome. Amazing.
Well, thank you, Graham, for joining me on this. I know we didn't quite reach our goal this season, no, but there's always
better luck
next.
next season.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about the new set. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to Unlimited Power. Thank you to Red Castle Games for hosting an amazing event. Thanks for all the judging staff. Everyone was super positive today, and it was a really good day of SWU, and I hope that we continue to run more limited events.
Yeah,
Thanks for
definitely
coming in with me, Dave.
Yeah, it's definitely our happy place, and hopefully next time all those drafts and seals we do are able to convert.
Yes. I definitely learned a lot playing with everyone. We were going to draft several times weekly. We were meeting up at breweries to do drafts with ourselves. We were practicing opening our sealed pools and sharing them on Discord. So you love to see it. Really great community in the Pacific Northwest. So
yeah, and hoping for another couple years of this at this point.
Definitely. I've played every Star Wars game that's come out since about the mid 90s. So I didn't even plan on playing Constructed originally. I was kind of sucked in because this game had limited, but I've been playing Constructed now for almost 2 years as well.
Yeah. And thank you guys all for joining, and we will be getting into the finals soon.
Adios.
All right, welcome back to the final round here at SWU City for the Portland Planetary Qualifier. We're in the final rounds of a sealed event here at Red Castle Games, and it is going to be Carson, one of the local players who's been doing really well at previous events, and he against Ben from Team Babu Freaks, who we just saw play one of his own teammates. So I'm joined here with Dave, who was just calling the second match, one of our limited specialists and experts here, doing a lot on the channel. Dave, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
It's been a long day, but I'm excited to see how this kind of turns out. That was definitely a exciting match between Ben and Alex in the Leia mirror. And I also saw some pretty interesting cards from Carson overall, so I think this should be a good match up overall. I do think Leia probably has the advantage going into this. She's definitely a stronger leader overall than Mon Mothma, but Carson's deck list had some pretty powerful cards in it, so it was pretty exciting overall.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a great match here. Two different heroic leaders, so it may not be as grindy as the last match, which is great after a long day. You've been here since 9 a.m. I've been here since a little after 8, and it is 9:30 p.m. in our time zone. So over 12 hours here for some of these players who've just been preparing for this type of event, and this is definitely where it shows.
Yeah. And it looks like we are having a pretty fast and furious start here. We have A-Wing versus Bale, and it looks like Bale discarded a budget scheming to make a spy on the first turn. We had a couple of 1-1 counters traded around with the Theed security coming in, and then it going away with the junior senator.
Now, this game, we're hoping isn't as grindy because there actually is no timer in the final match.
Yeah, there's got to be a winner.
Yes, and both players have played so hard. If you've watched the other Portland Planetary Qualifier, it wasn't on this stream, but it was on the Take the Initiative stream. Carson played very well in the top 8, but couldn't get to that finals match. So here he is again, working obviously really hard to get there, but also Ben has had that same story of getting very close, bubbling out in top 8s, and not making it or not getting that full win. So both players here know what it feels like to get really close and just not grab the final goal of that PQ, essentially entry, win and entry into the Galactic Championships.
Yeah. And it looks like Carson is feeling like he is the aggressor in this situation. We've seen 2 cards discarded to Bail Organa to make a 2 spies. And I think both players feel like they're the beatdown.
I think so. I think both. I mean, obviously they want to get that damage in. They want to show, put some threat on the board. But again, it's been a long day, so you wonder how that affects these players who essentially even skipped having an extra break here to just jump into the game. Ben literally took 30 seconds, a swig of water, and just said, "Let's go."
Yeah, let's get it done. Been here long enough.
Yeah, and I get the feeling, I don't know if I'd feel that same way with a deck like Leia Organa, but if I'm sitting there with something a little bit more aggressive, I know I'd rather just kind of get through it and see what happens. But that's a little bit me. I'm not doing the math. I'm just swinging and hoping I'm the last one standing.
Yeah, and what it looks like is with Chuchi coming to play, Ben does have 2 of them, so maybe he feels like he can kind of change the math on the race early and put himself out of range of this. He does have the stronger flip turn, but he is coming out with a flip 1 turn later. Looks like first action is going to be Mon Mothma with a plotted Dracelian Commandos to take out the Junior Senator.
Yeah, both players, Carson playing a little more familiar to how he plays. That's usually the issue when people bring their play mats is they won't follow the grid. So I do want to state that the cards off to the left is Carson's discard pile. So he doesn't have the Theed security out in play, but he does have quite a strong board right there with, 7 units?
Yeah, he's going very wide very early, and a lot of them are officials, which is benefiting from the +1 health from Mon Mothma at this point.
There we go. 12 to 11's Carson's favor. Definitely that aggressive strategy is working for him. He's keeping a lot of units out, and we've now watched Ben for over an hour, and we know he doesn't have that many cards that are going to help him get through a lot of these units in one action.
Yeah, and it looks like Carson's just going full in on the Bail Organa plan. We've seen him pitch 3 cards already to make 3 spies. He definitely does not want to see the late game where Leia can kind of take over.
Yeah, I really like Carson's strategy here. Smart move. Flood the board with some spy tokens. Get that 2 in there. And it's still just going to be such a threat for Ben to deal with. And, the last match, the Carson finished it in, what was that, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think we were just about done with, or just starting game 2, and Carson and his opponent had already gotten through 3 games, basically.
Yeah, Mon Mothma is not messing around. These 2 great leaders in the game, 2 strong characters in the Star Wars series. Obviously, 2 strong feminine leaders that just ran the whole rebellion and destroyed the Empire. There are 2 women you don't want to stand in the way of, and it's them. So I'm not surprised that these are 2 powerhouses in Secrets of Power.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. It looks like Ben might already be on the back foot here. I mean, Carson has 6, 10, 13, 17, 21 damage represented on board already.
21 damage, 8 units, and what is that, 5, 6 resources available?
Yeah.
So here comes the Leia deployment.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like does Ben have the tank here to prevent some damage?
Doesn't look like it, no.
Yeah, I am very surprised here. She will be able to give the restore, though, to Leia and get an extra... Geez, it's going fast.
I mean,
we're going fast.
It is such a back and forth here.
No trading, it seems like.
No, but sometimes this is what you want to see at the end of the day. As someone who's been sitting in this room for as long, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Definitely
looks
exciting matchup.
So it looks like, I mean, Carson has 2 actions to get in 5 damage.
And he has enough. He has lethal on the board, but Ben still
Yeah.
has plenty of resources not exhausted.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like that bogged down with procedure that he showed is going to be able to get him there. It looks like Carson might be able to take this game 1 here.
I wish we had the timer on now.
Yeah.
Just to see how fast this went. Oh my gosh. Don't blink or you'll miss it. This game is going quick here with 28 already done to Ben and Carson sitting at 25. Both players barely trading into any
It
units.
looks like there might be a damage missing, which would have... Carson missed 1 damage. That's what chat's saying. So,
all right, looks like they're just checking the history on these life pucks. We got the head judge there who understands how this works. So he's just checking the pattern, making sure no one fudged a number and correlating with a few things.
Yep, and that's actually going to be enough for Ben to take this game here. Yep, it looks like Ben got it there with that extra 1 damage. The heroic arc is going to be able to come in and take out the opponent.
What a game 1. Honestly, I think that's what this is what you want to see in the finals. A grindy match is great. You and Grant were talking about it. Graham, we're talking about it very well. Like these, we're seeing a lot of experienced players. We just saw 2 people take on Leia Organa and do really well. Yeah. Oh, so the judge fair. Yeah. Yeah, you might. So the judge just came in. I forgot I asked him anytime there's a judge call to come in and explain it. And if you wouldn't mind, Alex, just why not? Oh, okay. Well, just all right. So yeah. So what happened there?
Carson got a little excited and only put 4 damage on the base.
Yeah.
Instead of the 5 that came from the Leia. We just checked the history on the puck. We just double checked to make sure that it was all there. And there was enough of a time gap between all of the hits that it didn't add up the way it should have. So we just corrected it and then continued.
That's great. And so was the life puck really beneficial in that moment, or is this one of those moments? I know you have a preference, but would this have been better if things were done on paper for these players and keeping track?
I don't know that I have a good answer for that one at this point.
Sure.
Because I knew the puck had a history, and while I was paying attention, wasn't able to count how many clicks. It made it nice to be able to track that back. But pen and paper, I think, is always good to have like full totals there next to it.
That's great. Thank you so much, Alex, our head judge, just letting us know how we saw it as well. Seeing a lot of taking a step back, seeing that the damage was missed from Leia, just moving a little fast there. Carson was in taking the damage, and the life puck showing him the history as well as the gap in time of the damage, having it make sense. Oh, yeah, sorry. All right, so as we get ready for match 2 in this final round, what a match it is. Oh my gosh, I keep hitting this thing. Only Dave is bothered by this. There we go.
I wanted to make sure that the stream was, working. I don't know this thing. You're the wizard of the stream wizard over here.
That's fair. This is just,
yeah.
Whatever. We'll talk about it later. But no big deal. We're all good here. But Ben has the first win here. Game's going to go fast. This next one could go just as fast. So thanks for everyone for hanging out with us, watching the matches throughout the day. What a great time here at Red Castle Games. And here we are, two great players walking away with a lot of points today, a lot of prizes, but only one of them is going to get what they need to get into the Galactic Champion ship, getting their entry. So
this is feeling very similar already.
I'm had A-Wing. We've talked about it all day. What a great card. What you want to see when you're drafting or getting a sealed pull with Leia Organa is some strong one-cost units.
Yeah, and with space units only being about a third of the units in each kind of in the format, a lot of times an A-Wing can be pretty much unbothered for a lot of the game.
Mm-hmm. That's why I love it.
And it doesn't take many pumps for it to put out of range of even some of the the 3 and 4 drops of the format.
No. Here's another great card. Leia's adopted father here, Bail Organa, does do some strong work, and I can't remember its rarity. Is it an uncommon?
Yeah, it's one of the I want to say legendary uncommons, but one of the unique uncommons. And it looks like this game is starting off very similar, where Carson is just kind of going all in on this Bail Organa and putting out as many kind of spies as possible here.
I love it. It is just officials versus officials. And again, this is a great start for both these players, and I love that this is a match. This is worthy of a final round. It is the climax of the day here, so I'm really excited for either player who gets to take home this win. Well deserved, and I'm sure they're going to rest really well tonight.
Yeah, and what's kind of crazy is Carson dropping his own Chuchi now. And that means that there was 3 Chuchis opened up in the 8 packs there.
That's wild.
Because Ben already has 2 of them. So, and it looks like Ben's All-Star for the day is coming into play, or at least All-Star for the top 8 is coming into play. We have our covert operative. Where did the Chuchi go? Where'd you go, Chuchi?
Yeah, it looks like he picked up the Chuchi, but a great card there. Uses the...
I think things have gotten a little confusing here. Carson might have compressed a couple actions there, and it doesn't look like the the disciplinarian's coming into play.
No, it doesn't look like it at all. But disciplinarian on Chuchi seems great.
It seems like a pretty solid kind of position to be in overall. I mean, Ben already showed that he's probably the aggressor in this kind of matchup. But we'll see what ends up happening here.
And there we go. We see the disciplinarian ready the Chuchi because it only has 2 power. Chuchi swings into the covert operative just to get that Bail Organa back, which is key to what Carson's gameplay is.
Yeah, and if Chuchi is able to kind of get 3 restore off a turn, that will be kind of blanking the damage from the A-Wing. But I am guessing that Ben might take this opportunity to take Chuchi off the board here with their own Chuchi. Just a lot of Chuchi going on.
Well, he does have the initiative, so it would behoove him to take a Chuchi out. And, his will survive, so why not?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it all kind of depends on what you think. Also, you don't want Bail or Mon Mothma to flip into play and then remove the ability to take the Chuchi off the board.
That's true.
Because Carson's deck is definitely heavy on the synergy with the amount of officials we've seen. Seems to have the budget scheming too. Some of the only cards in his deck that don't seem to be officials are things like the Dracelian Commandos, which is a strong ambush unit from either the plot row or from hand.
Yeah, that was a great card to have. And if someone's playing Heroic Green, if they get one of those, it just solidifies your choices.
Yeah, and it also is, pretty good against kind of leader units too, because unless Leia is flipped, it is able to get a hit in and still live.
Oof. All right, here we go. Turn 4, 5 resources on the board. Ben starting us off. And so he's going to play Bog Down.
Yep, tap down Chuchi and Bail Organa here.
It's going to exhaust them. That's correct.
Yeah, exhaust them. Sorry, guys. My bad. He's been very aggressive with the Bog Down overall. Generally, I feel like that's something you might want to hold off on. But I think him, trying to prevent all the damage he can early or prevent any of the trades is definitely Ben's highest priority at this point.
And there we go. We have Mon Mothma attacking here, or exhausting herself.
Yep.
To play the Emissaries of Ryloth.
Well, it got exhausted by the nimble prowess that Ben played. So, and then the emissary is coming in and blanking all of Chuchi's attack there. But this A-Wing just kind of popping away, and he's gonna Ben's gonna get a 0 damage attack in just to gain the 1 life.
Well, it's 5-10 Ben's favor. Can Ben keep the pressure as Carson continues to build the board? We saw Ben pull this off before, but again, Carson is going really wide, and we've already seen Ben use his exhaust card.
Yeah, and also at this point, the Chuchi is going to get in and probably be able to get a restore 3 off now. One from herself, and then one from one of the many officials that Carson has in play. It looks like the Chuchi trigger is going on to Mon Mothma. Yeah.
It looks like the judge is making sure the damage is done appropriately there after that swing.
Yeah, it looks like Ben might have accidentally taken 2 health off his base rather than take 2 damage. Yeah, I wasn't sure if officials could be this aggressive, but I've clearly been proven wrong. Carson definitely saw something else that I did not see. Generally, I find that Mon Mothma doesn't have the legs to kind of get all that damage in, but
well, here he is at the finals. Definitely found, got a lot of the right cards, passed his way, made the right picks himself, and what he built is definitely very competitive, hard hitting, and again, a wide board.
yeah, definitely powerful. So.
Ooh, was that moral authority?
Yeah, so moral authority is going to be able to come into play and either blank the Chuchi or the A-Wing. My guess is the A-Wing. That's going to remove 5 damage from the board. As long as the unit has more health than the opponent's attack, it can remove the unit from play.
Wow, what a move. What a move. Both players just a good, obviously we watching Ben, we knew he had a couple of options to kind of control the board state, but both of them having it, staying aggressive, not as aggressive, I mean, just as aggressive, but not as high damage to their bases as the last game. But here we are, a great back and forth, both players finding answers where they can and keeping the pressure on their opponent.
Yeah. I think that maybe that last turn for Ben was not, I'd say, totally impressive overall, and might have not given him a def tempo when you're just tapping your opponent's board down and not being able to kind of advance your board state. It definitely has put Ben on the back foot here. It doesn't look like he had a really good option for that 5 resource turn, or at least a follow up to the bog down with procedure.
At least Ben can count on if he loses, there will be a game 3 here.
Yeah. But with the speed at which these games are going, looks like we might be done pretty soon overall.
Hey, that's fair. I'll take it. Let's see, 15-15. Lightmaker revealed there for the experience counter to go somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, Carson moving a little fast here.
Oh, because he can't reveal the Lightmaker for Leia.
Because it shares the...
Yeah, because it is a
heroic
unit.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It looks like that might have been, I don't say a misplay overall, but it'll be interesting to see if that 1 damage is relevant. As definitely representing a pretty lethal board overall. It's like now would be a great time to have bogged down with procedure.
Now would be a good time. But hey, we'll see. Again, if we're gonna go to game 3, I imagine it's gonna be just as fast.
Yeah.
Might be a little cleaner. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's been a long day for both players, and they might be playing a little looser than they would like.
Hey, I get it. It's easier to make mistakes. I mean, again, we've talked about this before. These players have been here. This is round, what is this, 9?
Yeah,
round 9 for
today.
them. So round 9. The event, the doors open at 9 o'clock. It is 15 minutes till 10 p.m. So we're over 12 hours here for some of these players who've just been building, drafting, and playing back and forth all day. This is definitely one of those games. If you want to make top 8 in Star Wars Unlimited, and you go to these larger events, you've got to have the conditioning and fortitude to just push through, because it is hard to make good decisions when you're tired, when you're drained, when you're hungry, and
Yeah.
again, it is
Maybe
it
a
is just
little
tough.
angry too, you know.
Yep,
a little
definitely.
angry. You know, I definitely, after a long day of making top 8, I definitely did not play my best, it feels like. So I don't fault the players. I'm just it's definitely been interesting.
Yeah, it definitely takes some work.
And it looks like there's possibly a judge call going on right now. Or I guess Ben was just deep in the tank trying to figure out what to do.
I think so. There's knowledge and defense to lower Chuchi.
But as I said, with the Mon Mothma in play, that 2 damage ain't gonna do it.
No, Ben's just going to draw the card and
No, I think there might have been a little bit of takes backsies there.
hey, you know, I have nothing to say about that. Have I had some take backsies in some final matches at regional championships in Star Wars matches before? I have.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I know a lot of times in coming from a world of Magic, you do that and it's already been played, and cast 4, there's usually not a lot of tolerance for taking it back.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Hey, it happens. I've been there, been on one end of it and on the other. But there we go, 20-17, Ben's favor, but he's about to take a lot more damage, and Carson's going to continue to heal. So we're going to see this damage just kind of shift back and forth.
So we got 5, 7, 10 damage on board for Carson here. Yeah, and the problem with this format overall is there's not a ton of Sentinels that remain Sentinels for more than a turn. So even if Ben is able to kind of drop a Sentinel here to kind of stem some of the bleeding, depending on kind of the setup, Carson might be able to just kind of claim early and get the lethal in.
All right, well, there's that knowledge and defense. So maybe he will claim.
Well, you still got to do some damage first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine the Mon Mothma is going to be getting in for 5 here.
But do you swing with the Bale still?
Probably not now that it has 0 attack.
No, it just has the restore.
No. Ryloth had the restore, so it's already.
Oh, is he not an official?
No, the Emissaries of Ryloth is an official. So
I meant Bale. Is Bale not an official?
Oh yeah, no, he is.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
It's basically a 0 attack here.
Right.
You know, and that also leaves you open to possibly getting 2 tapped by a Lightmaker.
Well, Disciplinarian left as well here. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that you'd be worried about is if Carson claims early and Ben does have the Senate Rotunda guards, the 4/5 that gain Sentinel while undamaged, that would pretty much end the game here.
Looks like he's swinging with that Lightmaker.
Yeah, getting in that 8 damage.
Wow, 26-26. Not what I expected to see in this matchup.
Yeah, and we'll see if Carson claims early to try and get that 5 hit off to win the game, or if he's worried about. Yeah, and that looks like it's probably going to be game there.
Yeah, raises Ben to 29. And here comes Unveiled Might.
Oh, and that will do it. That 2 extra damage there will be enough. I guess I wasn't considering the pants, per usual.
All right, there we go. Ben almost figured it out here. All right, we're going into game 3 here in the finals at Red Castle Games. Shout out to them for putting on a great event, bringing in over 70 players, giving them a great experience. So many of them stayed throughout all 6 matches today because the community was great, the prizing was fun, and Red Castle definitely made sure everyone felt welcomed and that there was so much to do here. So really, really glad to partner with them and put this on. I love playing here. Dave, you normally make it here for a lot of sealed events. I know I need to as well. I just can't say enough good things about this store.
Yeah, they definitely make these pre-releases a party overall, so it's a good place to get in some games, open up some product, and who knows, they'd like to do a raffle, and sometimes you're able to get, prizes you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else.
Oh yeah, I've walked away with a couple of things that I was just like, no other store would do this, and it's been so great. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of their pre-releases are just sold out so quickly, and they haven't had a PQ that hasn't been maxed out. So a great time here, and I look forward to what they're hosting for a lawless time, and what kind of other events we're going to see here in the future.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Not say to be done with Secrets of Power right now, but I think I've possibly overdid it a little bit.
Maybe, but maybe not enough if you didn't make
Yeah.
top 8.
Well, I mean, I still got 6 full boxes unsorted that are just sitting on the shelf waiting for me.
Yeah. Sorting is a thing. It's definitely something I love to put off. But yeah, again, what a great day. So many players, so much in this community just makes these type of events feel good and great to hang out at. It's just been an exciting day, and everyone's been so happy to kind of see their pools and see what kind of other shenanigans they can pull off. And here we are again. Like, I don't think anyone expected the final match was going to include a Mon Mothma deck.
Yeah, you're making me feel bad. Everyone was excited to see their pools except for me today.
That's fair. I think maybe that's a perspective thing. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. I unfortunately ended up going 3-3 today, but there were definitely a couple times where I felt like I possibly misplayed and could have changed the outcome of a match.
Well, the great thing is, if people do want to see what your pool was, we do have that in the other video from today's stream where we look at your card pool, watch you play the first match against the local player, Shane, and then come in and discuss it a little bit more. So if people want a little bit more of your insight or watching more of your personal games, I'm glad we have it there. And that is on the Swiss sealed video for this PQ. So you can find that here on the channel and other stuff that Dave has done, whether it's commentary or giving some of his thoughts on some of the formats.
Yeah, for our limited power version of unlimited power.
All right, both players still getting ready for the final game.
Yeah, this has definitely been an exciting match already. It seemed pretty even overall, which I definitely thought Leia would have the advantage going into this, but it looks like Carson just knows he has to be the beatdown and has to be winning the game quickly here. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he has his best friend Bale in hand here. Only thing he has is the Rebellious Functionary, which is the 1 resource 2/2, which is not the greatest place to be overall. And it looks like Ben has his everyone's favorite ship. Here comes the A-Wing.
Yeah, I do love it. It's such a great play. It's the right move, and we'll see what Carson's going to bring to the table here.
Yeah, it looks like Carson, rather than try and get the extra value from the Theed security, is just going to be playing it out as a 2 resource 2/3. Which is a little surprising, but I think he must be valuing that extra health on this turn rather than having the 2 power and possibly having the 3 attack next turn.
All right, a swing for the Theed security for 2 damage. First blood here on Leia's base. Let's see how Ben's going to respond. Does he put out a unit? Is it going to be off tempo, or it looks like he's just going to swing?
Yeah, probably signifying that he's going to have a 3-drop coming in this turn, And Carson does have Chuchi. We did have quite the Chuchi battle going on last time.
Oh yeah, game 2, a lot of the Chuchi, and here we see Junior Senator coming into play.
Yep, and then getting the 1/1 counter. So both the 2 power units on Carson's side will not be able to take it out at this point.
Right, Carson does have the initiative, so he has Chuchi to swing right now, get that restore at least.
Yeah, he unfortunately doesn't have the second official in play to get the extra value out of it. There might be something to say about getting in with the Theed security now before Ben can get the value trade off on the Junior Senator. But there has not been a whole lot of trading this match, so both players might be just going face at this point. Or it looks like Carson's having a little bit of analysis paralysis here. Or can't make a decision.
Well, I'm all about damage to a base. Just get it in there. Let everyone else sort out the damage and the math here.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting match because something I like to say is a lot of times if you're traded and you're not winning, and especially in these race matchups. So
that's true. There is a benefit to trading and still having some units on board.
Yeah. And at this point, Carson's already gotten the 2 damage in from the Theed security. So whether or not kind of getting the value trade with the Junior Senator is a decision that Ben has to make.
4-3. Both players just taking a little bit of time here to make their next decision.
Yeah, and it looks like Ben is making the decision that face is going to be the place this game.
There we go. Some trades, some restore. It is 6-6 in game 3 in the final match. The Loan Shark comes out to take out the Theed security.
Yep. And we got Zitan Maj making an appearance. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I'm not sure. He's not in. He's only in the Clone Wars episodes a little bit. A falling species from the Black Sun. I am a fan of it. Cool to see them. But yeah, they don't really go further into them.
Yeah. I mean, I think both of these players are pretty experienced overall. It is things are moving a little bit quickly. Definitely seems like Carson is a little excited to be playing right now, or feeling like he's pretty close.
Wow, Dracilian Commando. What a plot card right now. Deploys Mon Mothma, and now you have a unit with ambush swinging in for 4 damage. And looks like he's going to be going into the Junior Senator.
Oh. And it makes sense. That removes the 4 power from the board. Overall, definitely protects his other units pretty well. And does kind of put Ben on the back foot here.
Yeah, but Ben does have that Loan Shark with that raid 2 bonus, so it may be worth it to swing now. Oh, looks like he goes for the nimble prowess play, so he gets to exhaust a unit.
Yeah, so I mean, he didn't really have any good trades on board with the only 3 power. It wasn't giving him a whole lot of options, and it looks like he's going to try and tap down the Chuchi to make sure that the 3 restore doesn't happen this turn.
Does take the 4 from Zinta, takes him up to 12, and now he's going to swing with the Loan Shark and then just go straight into Carson's base. Again, it's just a lot of base damage really quick, 15-13, Carson's favor.
Yeah, and with the Dracelian coming off the plot there, that did kind of condense Carson's actions overall. So he's already claiming and getting to do the 2 damage with Zitan to the base there, which is does put kind of Ben in a precarious predicament overall. Though we are going into the Leia flip turn. We do have 7 damage in space, another 4 on the ground, and that could just be enough. Yeah, it looks like Leia's coming into play. Do we have a plot check for the tank? And there she blows.
There there it is. The remote saber tank is coming into play from using the plot mechanic. Going to be a 5/5 with Sentinel.
Yeah, and it looks like he's putting the Sentinel on the tank.
Think so.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. And we got with thunderous applause here, revealing Mina to pump his 2 remaining ready units.
So good.
But I think Ben is kind of representing lethal here with the potential 5 from Leia, or up to 5 damage from Leia, plus another 7 in space, and the lone shark. I don't know if Carson's going to have enough actions to get through and do the damage he needs to. I guess he does have the Restore 2 on Mon Mothma from Chuchi still available, so that might change the math a little bit.
Yeah, Ben is exhausted.
Yeah.
So Carson's sitting there with 3 more resources. So yeah, again, it's such a fast-paced game, so much happening. What a wild day, and different not just play styles, but a lot of strong pivots for players. Like we just saw Ben play a much more grindier control matchup, got aggressive when he needed to. But I don't think wasn't expecting him to be as aggressive in this match as we've seen him. Just the amount of damage that he's been able to put on has just been a really astonishing, and again, a credit to what he built.
And I mean, it looks like Carson's still jumping the gun a little bit. We're not waiting for Ben to put the counter from Leia. And okay, and then the Restore 2, getting him back up to 17.
All right, we got the lone shark there, right under the light.
It's interesting that Ben, I guess Ben, with the +2/+2 on Zatan, had no way of pumping the tank out of range.
Man, there we go. 26 on Ben's base, 21 to Carson. But Ben still has 2 more units left to swing with. Carson has 3 more resources available.
Yeah. Now, wonder if Ben's going to have to claim early here to get possibly out of this with a Lando with that +6 heal.
Mm-hmm. All right, looks like the judge has reached for the life puck. There are 2 judges watching this match, so I know some things may be moving a little fast, or maybe the board can look a little crazy. But there are 2 people watching to make sure that the rules are followed as properly as possible, and making sure that if something is a little bit off, that they're stopping it if it's really affecting the board state.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like Ben really has any Sentinel units left in the deck after that 1 tank. So I think it's Lando or bust here at this point.
All right, looks like he is going through the history of the damage here and making the correction, showing Carson what the change is, and that Ben should be at 25 damage. So 25 to 21.
Yeah, the 25 is relevant though, because well, not really, because if Carson is claiming here, he's going to get the 2 damage from Zatan.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's going to force Ben to claim to prevent that 2. And
I think we're seeing Mon Mothma unit. No.
2 resources.
Yeah, it's 2 resources. Never mind. Mina.
Yeah, the Mina coming down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it another redhead Republican? Republic character?
Whoa. Democratic Republic. I guess she's a separatist technically, but
oh, there we go. So, what was that? That is
budget scheming.
Budget scheming. Yep.
Surprised he didn't put the 1/1 counter on the Mon Mothma, as she is also an official.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's relevant overall. Yeah, because budget scheming allows you to put a 1/1 counter on up to 3 official units that you control.
Yep.
Yep.
Give an experience token to each of up to 3.
So I guess he could have technically pumped Ben's units too.
That's true. It is up to as many as they want. So it is something that can be missed.
Yeah.
25-21. This is it. This is where it matters. This is the final turn, definitely in this final match here.
Yeah, does Carson have any aggressive negotiations in that pool there? Is that something that Ben has to be worried about here? What do we have for action compression? Because he is looking to be dead to 2 attacks here, and with Ben on the initiative, it is not looking great.
Yeah, not seeing much here. Let's see. There is no aggressive negotiation.
Yeah, so
As far as cards that are going to make an impact, they're definitely, most of them are going to be off aspect.
yeah, and probably no accelerate our plans in that deck, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, so it's gonna be looks like Ben is in the pole position here. Now Callus is one of the cards that Carson does have, but it's not going to be able to do that last bit of damage or clear off enough things here.
No, without the initiative.
Yeah, and I think possibly Ben is thinking about playing Lando here, or whether he should be going to try and do lethal overall. I don't think there's a whole lot of things that are scary if you do gain the 6, but it looks like it's time to prove it, whether he has it or not.
Let's find out. We see.
Yeah, he either has the aggressive negotiations or he doesn't. I mean, Ben has no Sentinel units left in his entire pool. And so we'll see how it goes.
All right, well, let's see how it is again. Both these players have been here before. They have fought hard in top 8s. They have bubbled out in other events. So they're not unfamiliar with being so close to touching the championship title here for a Planetary Qualifier. So they definitely both want this. It's going to be well earned for either of them. It's definitely can be a bummer to be so close and not get it again for either one of these players, but either way, I'm glad one of them is getting this here today.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be surprised when whoever wins that the other person will definitely walk away with with a PQ win probably in the next set.
Yeah, and with the PQ points, someone's definitely going to be qualified for Galactics, and someone's going to have another big chunk of change towards getting there, too. So I think it's 100 and then 35 for the second place.
I believe so.
Yeah. Oh.
There we go. Knowledge and defense to remove the Mon Mothma leader.
That
and
is
Ben draws
interesting.
a card.
That feels like it might have been a possible misplay there by Ben. I don't know why that would be the play there. I mean, now he's at risk of getting 2 tapped here, and also the Chuchi gaining a life here.
All right. Well, Ben took some time to make his decision. Looking for something that was going to give him a little bit more options, and Carson is deciding.
Oh, you know what it was? Is the Chuchi would have put him out of range of doing lethal damage because he would have only had 9 damage on board.
Well, now he's at 29.
Yeah. And yep, and that appears to be game. We got a fist bump here. Does not look like there was any Lando in hand, as that would have been the only thing to save him overall.
Yeah, because all Carson had to do now was claim, right?
I mean, he had lethal with Chuchi too.
Right, but doesn't even if it's removed.
Yeah,
fine.
Even with if it was removed, yeah.
Yeah, great game here. Congrats to Carson again, who's worked really hard. We've seen him at other top 8s. Definitely a player who worked really hard to get here, and definitely went through. Played a lot of Team Babu Freaks.
Yeah, so. TX Lawn Hawk. There was no misplay. The what do you call it? The Chuchi would have gained him 1 life. So Ben only had 9 damage on board with 2 attacks there. So there was no way for him to kind of close out the game.
Yeah. Well, hey, what a great game, Dave! I want to thank you for hopping in here, being the start of the event, with letting us see your sealed pool, watching us play that first game, and then coming back in and doing some commentary in the finals rounds. Thank you so much for lending your expertise, sharing a little bit more about some of our drafters here and the strategies that you've seen throughout several of the events here in the Pacific Northwest. Can't thank you enough.
Yeah, it's been a good day. I wish it could have had a little bit of a different outcome overall, but happy for the players that did kind of make it to the top 8, and it was definitely a tough fought top 8 and definitely an interesting draft overall.
Yeah, it completely was. I want to thank everyone out there who's been watching this stream throughout the day. Even if you just watched a couple of matches, really appreciate it as we get to represent what we're doing out here in the Northwest, the teams we have, the players we have, the stores we have, and most importantly, the amazing Star Wars Unlimited community. The Portland area has over 400 players in our local Discord, larger in our Pacific Northwest Discord. It is growing, and there's not a night of the week you can't find people playing Star Wars Unlimited at a game store here in SWU City, Oregon. So shout out to them. Shout out to Red Castle Games for hosting us. Our amazing judges who stuck it out here all day. Everyone who came in on the cast, whether they were a team member, and shout out to Madame Zola, who's definitely helped us through those Swiss rounds and representing the Night Sisters. And everyone who's just chatted in the comments today. Y'all have done just again, love the interactions, love the encouragement, and glad that people are seeing what we have here in the Northwest.
Yeah, and Moy is totally correct. If Ben had not claimed early, Zitan would have done the 2 damage to base and put him into lethal range. So it might have looked a little funny, but I'm pretty sure Ben was playing it pretty as tight as possible there. There wasn't a whole lot of options.
I'm sure it was. And again, a long day, 12 hours here at this store so far. So again, thanks everyone for watching. We're going to be signing off. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. And lastly, may the Force be with you.
Yeah, and also with you guys. Have a good rest of your night.